Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the Triumph Tiger. This is the Triumph Tiger 900 GT. Yes, this is the new version of the Tiger and it kind of looks like an evolution of the older model, but look closely and you realize that this is actually taller, it's wider and the headlights are actually slimmer here. Obviously these are LEDs, even the indicators are LEDs. At the front we've got a 100 section tire, it's a 19-incher, Brembo brakes, so good hardware bits on this motorcycle. Now they've actually made a lot of changes to the body. In fact, you won't believe it, the fuel tank is bigger by 1 liter now and the engine is all new. You get obviously very off-road centric pegs, and that's not all. You know what? They have also shifted the tail light from inside to outside just for better aesthetic appeal. The exhaust looks nice, but it's big. The seat is the comfort seat and you can actually change the seat height as well. This is at the lower one, 810 mm. You can increase it for tall riders to 830 mm. You have to open the seat, which is a bit of a tedious process. This is the comfort seat, kind of feels comfortable. Quality levels are fantastic. Grab rails are nice to hold to. And attention detail on this motorcycle is obviously impressive because this is very costly a motorcycle. Okay, you have actually got a provision for a 12-volt charging socket here. And below the seat there's a USB charging socket as well, and for the pillion there is another provision here for a 12-volt charging socket. This is how the seat opens. It says Triumph Comfort. Alright, the sari guard is really ugly and big. The rear tire happens to be a 150 section. It is a 17-incher. Meanwhile, you get these tooted foot pegs, which obviously gives you better grip off the road. The switchgear seems complicated because it is obviously similar to one which we see on the street triple. Meanwhile, it gets adjustable levers as well. The mirrors feel a bit plain and basic. Everything seems to be revised on this motorcycle. The switchgear is actually hard to use. Let's do one thing. Let's turn on the bike, and there you see it says Triumph. The Triumph logo comes in. You have to actually press the clutch to turn on the motorcycle, and there it rose to life. Yeah, there it rose to life. Obviously, it changed the color because it has a day-night sensitive sensor or whatever to make sure that it is either bright or dark depending on the weather, of course. Okay, the bike looks really very nice. They have not really compromised on the ground clearance of this motorcycle in spite of so many changes to it. I love the way the beak has been done. You can see the lights really bright. Let's turn them on here. Go into high beam. Yeah, pretty good, pretty nice. Very impressive motorcycle. Massive guards, steel braided lines, of course, and seat is actually quite big as such. Let's do one thing. Let's rev the motorcycle. Listen to this. Now you know what, you can actually change the instrument cluster. It has got multiple modes for the same. Now so many buttons. This is the horn, this is for the cruise control, this is for the heated seat, pass by, again for the light, this is for the heated grip. Yeah, heated grips it's got, of course it has to. Meanwhile, let's actually change the cluster here. This is obviously for the engine start and kill switch, this is for the hazard light, and this is the home button to go to home. You see it has so many things: riding modes, bike setup, tire setup, display setup, Bluetooth and whatnot. Let's do one thing. Let's actually browse through this. So it's very easy to browse because it is like these are obviously the styles. They're in style 3, we'll get into style 4 right now. Yeah, I like the way these 4 styles have been done. Very much like, of course, the other Triumph bikes at the moment. The problem is now it is not really very easy to read. That's the only issue which I face. This is the other style, and you know what, there is so much information on offer. Like every information you would ever need is actually present. You can just browse through here. This is for the Bluetooth system. You can connect a GoPro as well along with your phone and whatnot. So that's pretty slick. Let's do one thing. Let's start riding right away. Let's turn on the motorcycle. There it rose to life into first gear and off we go. The cluster is still loading, never mind. So the thing is that this bike actually feels lighter than before because it's around 2 kgs lighter. It doesn't actually feel its weight. It's actually a heavy motorcycle but kind of doesn't feel its weight. It's got an ample grunt obviously because the engine is bigger now. Obviously it has got more torque, 8 Newton meters more torque, around 87 Newton meters, but the power is the same as before, 94 horsepower, 888 cc motorcycle. It's a 3-cylinder engine. I love the way the exhaust has been done, especially the way it looks at the front. Okay, this visor is actually adjustable. It does curtail wind blast to a great extent, but the issue is in order to adjust it you need obviously tools. The suspension is adjustable both at the front and the rear, and it's a very supple suspension. Okay, it's got riding modes. It's got multiple riding modes. You press this button and you can decide which riding mode you want to be in. So there's road, there's sport, there's off-road as well, and of course there's rain. Yeah, rain obviously cuts down power, and obviously even changes how the traction control system works. It's got cornering ABS, it's got cornering traction control. So a lot of these features, rather than riding on road, we ride it in sport mode, of course, because it gives you the full bananas.
Now the engine is actually very refined and it sounds great as well because it's a triple, of course. However, the older engine felt better in the way that it has character and a top end grunt. This one kind of lacks it. Let's do one thing. Let's actually change. Okay, let's confirm sport mode. Yeah, we can oh my god, I can feel that it's in sport mode right now. Let's change the styles as well, get into style 4. Okay, I think these styles of the instrument cluster could be a lot better. It is good, no doubt, but it could be a lot better. I love the way the ride quality is on this motorcycle. It fits so good. Now, because it's got so much grunt now, on-off throttle transition isn't the best as such. Kind of feel jerky. The bike does heat up and it throws all that heat onto your legs and knees as well. So yeah, in first gear it absolutely catapults ahead. That is a level of performance on offer. Let's get into style 2 for the moment. Yeah, this is actually very confusing. These buttons, there's so many of them. Braking performance is obviously stellar. We are in first gear already and we're going to launch this motorcycle and here we go. First gear 95 it does, my goodness. Performance is absolutely stunning, breathtaking, without a doubt. It really pulls hard and fast. That is the level of performance on offer. It's a very easy motorcycle to ride. In fact, it actually feels like a street fighter motorcycle in the way it handles. So handling is also stellar indeed. Okay, the tires offer a good amount of grip. Now this is of course less off-road centric and more road centric, and then gives you the feel and the vibe of riding something like a street triple. Obviously not a street triple, like a street fighter motorcycle. Street triple is another league in terms of, you know, razor sharpness and riding fun. This is also very nice. I love the ride quality on this bike. Now it's a little bit on the firmer side, but then you can actually adjust it the way you like. Every time you get on the throttle, it lunges ahead without any hesitation. Okay, I don't like the mirrors. Such a well-styled motorcycle and such ugly mirrors. I don't know why that's the case. Now, you know what? I can easily lock my knees here on the tank, and that's also very comfortable. Overall, very comfortable motorcycle. Even though I am tall, I am still riding on the lower seat height position. Imagine how much more comfortable I would be if I opt to, you know, increase the seat height to the maximum. But then, you know, there's a problem here, which is the fact that this motorcycle requires a lot of effort to change the seat height as well. Yeah, that could have been a little bit easier to do. Let's get into style 1 right away, and there, let's select style 1. They could have actually differentiated the styles even better on this motorcycle. Now this is a motorcycle which can actually gobble up kilometers without any hesitation, because it's got the grunt, it's got the flickability, and obviously you can mount a lot of things on it as well, specifically speaking your luggage to go the long haul. This is a touring motorcycle which is super duper fun, but there are some vibes which can be felt. Unfortunately, quite a lot of vibes which can be felt on the handlebar, on the foot pegs, on the seat, on the tank. So yeah, in the top end it doesn't feel as comfortable. Okay, lower performance I would say is tractable, so this is a very rideable motorcycle. Mid-range is of course the best on this machine, and the top end, yeah, it could be slightly better though. It goes berserk in the top end, but could be slightly better. Brakes are good, but you know, that slight amount of encouragement in terms of stopping power, that's lacking. Could have been a lot, not a lot, slightly better there as well. Stops in its track, but could be a little bit more confidence inspiring. No doubt the front actually kind of lifts when you accelerate hard, because that is the performance on offer. But I can constantly feel that even on the handlebar there are vibes which creep in, so could be a little bit more refined. It's surprising, it kind of gives you the twin character in terms of the way it performs, in terms of the refinement and the NVH levels. They could be a lot better. So that character of the old Triumph Tiger is just kind of gone here. It feels very different now, but still is punchy enough, fun, and obviously has good amount of grunt and great performance as well. But certain things I already miss, like I miss the fact that it just doesn't have the ballistic top end which I would have expected it to do. But then still, performance is very much likable. Taking a U-turn, no problem at all, because this bike is so easy in terms of maneuverability. You can just do whatever you like. In fact, it has got such a fantastic electronic suite. You don't miss anything. Yeah, only a quick shifter though. Gearbox is smooth shifting. The clutch is not really light. Absolutely shouts in the top end of the rev range, and it climbs speeds like nobody's business. In fact, the top speed is way above 200 kilometers per hour. I'm not even scratching the base of the surface of this bike, trust me on this. I'm riding very leniently, because if I get hard with the throttle, it just catapults itself into speeds like you shouldn't be riding at all. That is the level of performance. But then obviously 888cc motorcycle, triple cylinder, that is 3-cylinder, will obviously give you a lot of oomph, a lot of power, a lot of performance. But a better top end grunt would be really very nice. Now what you're going to do, we are going to get into first gear. I love the way the gearbox is so smooth shifting, and there, you know, I could get into neutral effortlessly. Red lines at 10,000 RPM. What a fantastic bike. Before you know it, you are in speeds you shouldn't be at. That is the level of performance. In fact, I will just get into 6th gear right now and ride it very comfortably to see how it performs. Yeah, there is some amount of wind blast, but you know, they have designed this visor beautifully well. It throws in some air from between here, yeah, which ensures that you get some cooling feel. However, it doesn't give you too much wind blast either. So perfecting is well contained. Great design, no doubt. Triumph is doing a fantastic job. In fact, Triumph's all motorcycles are so lovable because they put a lot of thought in their machines, and this Tiger is no different at all. Now we've got 3 variants on offer. This is the base variant right now, the 900 GT, and the other 2 variants are more expensive by a lakh or 2, but they are more obviously off-road centric, and there might be an 850 as well with slight detune, which is actually the base variant without all the electronic suites. This has all the electronic suites, so yeah, it is loaded in that sense. And before you know it, you are off 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 4 seconds. Yeah, that's right, 4 seconds you'll reach 100 kilometers per hour. That is the level of performance on offer. But only gripe I have while riding this bike is the mirrors are like kind of weird and awkward. I don't like the way the mirrors have been placed, or rather the design of the mirrors, but the rest is absolutely stunning on this bike. What a machine. A mile, I mean, this is a mile cruncher, which keeps you excited all throughout whenever you're riding it. Gives you the lean angles as well. It's confidence inspiring. What a great machine. This is actually very good for touring because obviously the suspension is fantastic. Okay, it's from an Italian company. I can't even pronounce the name, but still I love the suspension. Just imagine if I could pronounce the name, how much more I would be loving the suspension. So that is how well calibrated everything is on this motorcycle. Brembo brakes, but still don't have that overall feedback which I would expect, but still very likable a bike, very lovely, very good in terms of performance, but very expensive as well. This one costs 16,40,000 rupees on road Mumbai, which is extremely expensive, but then that is the case with an ADV, and especially from Triumph, considering that it doesn't cut corners in terms of offering the electronic suite which you would expect from a Triumph motorcycle. But also remember that this, in spite of being an expensive motorcycle, rather than being the base variant of a particular motorcycle, still has a lot of stuff in it. The 4 riding modes obviously alter the engine, the way the power is delivered. That map actually how much power is being put out. That is the first thing it alters. It alters the ABS as well, the sensitivity, the traction control system, and all these things it alters. And obviously it feels the most mad in sport mode, cuts it down in rain mode. So that is obviously something which is given, which is something which is followed by Triumph in their other motorcycles as well. But as I see it, I love this bike. I think it's fantastic. It is lovely. Only thing is the pricing could have been slightly low, but then I can't really complain because it's cost around 40-50,000 more than the old Tiger, and it gives you a lot of improvements. For that slight 40k increase, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Now the fuel efficiency should be between 18 to 24 kilometers per liter, depending again on your riding style. With a 20-liter fuel tank, on an average you're getting 20 kilometers per liter. 400 kilometer is the range, usable range. 350 kilometers, which is again decent enough to crunch the miles, gobble them up. And speed breakers, not an issue. You can easily take them without any problem because ground clearance seems to be ample on this bike. So this Triumph Tiger definitely gets a massive thumbs up from me because it's a fantastic motorcycle. Lovely, love it. And if you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. There's a speed breaker ahead. You don't really think about it much because you know what, you can just stand and go, because standing on this bike is super comfortable because of the way the pegs have been done. Bye bye.